Good evening. Iran is issuing a direct warning to the United States, saying it will retaliate against any military attack. The message came from Iran's parliament speaker, signaling what appears to be a firm red line at a time of rising regional tension and heightened diplomatic pressure. Iran's leadership says any U.S. strike would not go unanswered, a statement that immediately raises concerns about escalation in an already volatile Middle East. Tonight, we break down what was said, why it matters now, and what the potential consequences could be if tensions move from words to action. What Iran said. Iran's parliament speaker delivered the warning during a public address, stating clearly that Iran would respond to any U.S. military action against its territory. While the statement did not outline specific military steps, the language used was deliberate and unambiguous. Iran's leadership framed the warning as defensive, saying retaliation would only occur if the country were attacked first. Officials in Tehran have repeatedly said they view U.S. military presence in the region as a direct threat and consider American bases and allied assets as potential targets in the event of conflict. The warning reflects Iran's long-standing position that deterrence is central to its national security strategy. Why the warning comes now? The timing of this warning is significant. Iran is facing internal and external pressure simultaneously. Domestically, the country continues to deal with economic strain and political tension. Internationally, Iran remains under sanctions and diplomatic scrutiny, particularly over its regional influence and military capabilities. By issuing a public warning now, Iranian officials appear to be signaling resolve, both to foreign governments and to domestic audiences. Analysts say this kind of message is often designed to discourage military action by raising the potential costs before any decision is made. In other words, this is as much about prevention as it is about retaliation. U.S. position and response. So far, there has been no immediate public military response from Washington. U.S. officials have consistently stated that they do not seek conflict with Iran, while also emphasizing their commitment to protecting American forces and allies in the region. Behind the scenes, however, such warnings are closely studied. Any statement from a senior Iranian official is likely being assessed by U.S. defense planners, diplomats, and intelligence agencies. Historically, similar warnings have led to increased military readiness rather than immediate action. The absence of public escalation at this stage suggests both sides are exercising caution. What retaliation could mean? When Iran speaks of retaliation, it does not necessarily mean an immediate or large-scale war. Military experts say Iran's response would likely be measured and strategic rather than overwhelming. Possible responses could include targeting military installations linked to the U.S. presence in the region, applying indirect pressure through regional allies, or using cyber and economic tools to create disruption without triggering a full-scale conflict. Iran's military doctrine emphasizes asymmetric warfare, meaning it relies on methods that offset conventional military disadvantages. This approach allows Iran to apply pressure while attempting to control escalation. The Israel factor. Any discussion of Iran and the United States also involves Israel. Iran views Israel as a close U.S. ally and a central part of the regional balance of power. Iranian officials have previously suggested that any wider conflict involving the United States could extend to U.S.-aligned interests across the region. This raises concerns that even a limited exchange could draw in additional actors, making de-escalation more difficult. Why this moment matters. This situation is unfolding in a global environment where economic stability, energy markets, and geopolitical alliances are already under strain. Neither Iran nor the United States have publicly expressed a desire for full-scale war. Instead, both appear focused on deterrence, attempting to prevent the other from taking actions that could spiral into conflict. Experts warn that the greatest risk in moments like this is miscalculation rather than intention. History shows that major conflicts often begin with misunderstandings or unintended escalation. What happens next? In the near term, analysts expect increased diplomatic communication, heightened military readiness, and continued public signaling from both sides. Such warnings are often intended to clarify red lines rather than to announce immediate action. However, the situation remains fluid, and developments could change quickly depending on decisions made in Washington, Tehran, and across the region. Conclusion. Iran's warning to the United States is a reminder of how fragile regional stability remains. The message is clear. Any military action would come with consequences. For now, the focus remains on deterrence, diplomacy, and restraint. But as history has shown, moments like this demand close attention because what happens next could have far-reaching implications well beyond the Middle East.